Brawl News! Ladies and gentlemen, today is our first proper update speculation-esque video here for this next following update since the change to the Brawl Pass and the update system that the dev team is going out with. Seeing that these changes have come around, it's a bit more tricky to predict, speculate on new things coming, but we do have a lot of very intriguing stuff to go over that most definitely has stuff to do with this next update coming around the corner. So of course, if you guys enjoy these types of episodes, be sure to slap a like on them. They're not the easiest in the world to come up with, so yeah, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys. But I'd like to start things off on a little bit of a lighter note before we get into the weeds of future updates. There was a really exciting mini update, I would call it, that was just released here today. Give it up for the one true queen of Carnival, Flag Bearer Piper. Dude, it looks so good. The dev team has been cycling through these somewhat mini themes being added to the game, right? We just had the Super Bowl theme where the El Primo skin was released, and now this one with a brand new background that looks amazing, I have to say. It's so freaking beautiful. I love the falling confetti, the yellow confetti. It looks so good. So the offer is working like this. So once again, if we purchase the Flag Bearer Piper skin, we get these two for free coins, free spray, and then power points for 99 gems. A pretty decent offer, 5x the value, but then we get 5 star drops for free pin, and then the coins, and then token doublers, and then a free legendary star drop. So why don't we get it, open it for you guys, and see if we can't get lucky. We're going to be picking up some gems over here at the Supercell store, obviously the best way to do it. And of course, always be sure to plug in a creator code Ray would be very much so appreciated. Thank you guys. Y'all the best. You guys are absolute goats. Here we are getting the purchase and the gems to our accounts, looking beautiful, and let's rip through this. Very excited about this Piper skin. It is wonderful, but also I've been really enjoying these interesting offers that come along with it, these track offers, right? So we're getting the coins, getting the spray. Next up, some power points, 99 gems to unlock the next 2 tiers, 5 star drops, people. Let's go. All right, guys, 5 star drops. Let's see what we can get out of this. Okay, ready? I go the fast way. 5 fingers. Bam. Instant epic. I like getting right to the point, baby. Bam! Super rare. Okay. 3 more to go. The PowerPoint animation needs to speed up, man, in the next update. I swear to gosh. Rare! Are you kidding me? Another PowerPoint animation. Add insult to injury. Okay. Super rare. Beautiful. And we do have a legendary star drop on the way. Wouldn't it be cool if we got one, though? Huh! Super rare. Okay, we outweighed the rares, which is quite rare if you ask me to happen. Okay, next up, a pin. Beautiful. 49 gems for some coins. We'll take it. Got the XP doubler. Looking good. And then finally, the free legendary star drop. Let's see what's in store for us here. 500 credits. I'll take it, whatever. There you have it, you guys. A pretty awesome mini theme, and another one should be coming around here shortly with that Valentine's Day or Brawlentine's Day with the doll Jessie skin. So we'll have to wait and see when that comes out, but dang, BrawlStars has been ripping through these fun little mini update themes, right? Super cool. But now that we have that out of the way, it's time to get straight away into more pressing update related content that has been kind of Easter egged out here. We have a few things to get into here in this episode, starting off with a potential Power League 2.0 coming out in this next update, or something weird happening with Power League at the minute. We have Vanya25 pointing out here, there's something suspicious with Power League right now. Usually the Power League season ends on the last Thursday of the current Brawl Pass season, so it should end on February 29th. But if you look at the timer, it says that the current season ends on February 20th, which is Tuesday. They then go on in adding, so basically the current Power League season is 9 days shorter than it was supposed to be. And that's actually pretty important because we know that in the next update, we will see a rework of Power League. We've now heard on several different occasions that a priority in a future update will be a Power League rework. We've seen it in social interactions, much like Frank over here on Twitter saying we're planning to rework Power League. Nothing to share on the design side yet, but things will change. We also know from a more recent Brawl talk with an update to the future roadmap for Brawl Stars that this was also addressed as a priority for a rework here. And on the roadmap, this Power League 2.0 was before it, right? So it was kind of delayed, as well as brought up in different podcast episodes about when it might come out and things along those. With some of the most recent implementations here in Brawl Stars, that the dev team is really on the right track with gameplay-esque things in Brawl Stars. So I got a feeling this is going to be a fun implementation once it is. So very, very likely we're getting some significant changes to Power League here in this next update. But with that out of the way, the biggest question that I've been seeing a lot of people having when it comes to this next update is how it's going to be formatted and potential themes and new brawlers that might be released in this next update. So we now know with the updated format of the Brawl Pass that with Brawl Talks and their announcement of the content coming out with these updates is seeming to be multiple months. So basically a few seasons of the Brawl Pass being jam-packed into that Brawl Talk. So kind of like two separate updates being announced in one Brawl Talk. It's what we saw in the most recent Brawl Talk here. We had 3 separate seasons and 3 brawlers being released in each of those seasons that was announced in the last Brawl Talk, and we're now coming up on that final season that was announced or at least broken down in this most recent Brawl Talk. So seeing that this is kind of a newer format, it's hard to make really concrete speculation, but what I've been hearing the most from the community is there should be at least 2 seasons of the Brawl Pass within this next Brawl Talk. So kind of 2 different update themes being announced in the Brawl Talk, as well as obviously new brawlers fitting within those themes that would be kind of adjacent to that vibe. So if we're going off of this newer speculation around this new update structure within Brawl Stars, or at least how it's presented in Brawl Talks, it begs the question, with what evidence we have now, what type of update would make sense to come for this next update and the update season to come, and potential sneak peeks or Easter eggs that we've already had around potential new brawlers fitting into these update themes. So again, this is pretty dang early on speculation, but there has been some really popular discussion and theory crafting around what these future update themes might be, with 2 kind of existing themes that have been put out there already, but not really addressed upon. One brawler that's now been in the game for quite some time that has been subject of speculation around a potential theme around their character is Willow, a brawler that was released during the Masteries update, which was a very, very, very long time ago, people. While at the same time, Willow's family, the Swamp of Love, has been subject of a lot of speculation when it comes to trying to predict what would make sense for a new brawler to fit into the game in, right? Their family. I mean, I was pretty much so convinced some time ago that this Haunted Haven post from this photo that was posted quite some time ago, that the Swamp of Love trio would be getting some love in a future update, seeing that it's very close to that Haunted Haven vibe and Brawley would here as well. And I know it kind of seems like we're looking really deeply into certain things like that when it's just like mentions of things that might be kind of piquing our interest about different brawler families and stuff like that from photos. But dude, the Brawl Stars dev team is known for stuff like this. I mean, in this post from a very, very long time ago, I believe we even got a sneak peek of this here, the Futurist Chroma, announcing or giving us a little Easter egg that the chromatic rarity would be removed from the game. So there's been a lot of loose stuff about Willow and her family kind of making sense for a new brawler fitting in there for quite some time now, and at the very least a brawler family only having 1 member for such a long time, I mean the family was created during the Masteries update, would be merit enough to have a newer brawler fitting into that trio, right? A vacant brawler family for such a long time. It just makes a little bit of sense. Then we make our way to the final bit of evidence that also could be giving us insight of a brawler fitting into the Willow family. And that brings us back to this video announcing the Brawl Together campaign that we just kind of wrapped up. In a recent video here on the channel outlining the Easter eggs and sneak peeks from this video, we had ended up coming across some hypercharges being leaked, much like bells and buzzes, but by far the most peculiar things coming from this video can be seen on 2 separate scenes. Number 1, we can see Piper at the match end screen here in the top left hand corner, being shown in the bushes flashing a super, but also underneath her having a radius of damage increase, that purple around her, much like a smaller version of 8-bit super, right? Now at the time it made sense that it could be a potential that this might be a rework to a star power or potential 3rd star power. It's very outlandish stuff, right? But a speculation from the community that I think also makes a lot of sense is these are textures or mechanics from a brawler coming out, a new brawler around the corner, but those mechanics being utilized on a placeholder Piper model. I think think? In my opinion, that makes a bit more sense than drastic reworks to star powers or even third star powers, seeing that I don't see that much wrong with Piper's star powers right now that would warrant a rework to her kit, while also I think third star powers are even more outlandish than that, seeing that we are still working on hypercharges, right, for all the cast of brawlers. It would just be so much new content being implemented in every single update. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So we have this potential new ability for a new brawler, but then later on in the video as well, we have this shot coming from a Piper model as well. And in my opinion, I think this one's the hardest to explain. We have, I guess, kind of, it would make sense to be a Piper shot, but it is so different from any other Piper skin that we have in the game. I think also an explanation for this could very well be a mechanic for a future brawler, but being utilized on a base Piper model in the game, right? And the reason people are believing this very well could have some ties to the Swamp of Love trio is it's somewhat of a like Cupid arrow kind of mechanics that we see similar to Willow, where she hitting that same exact vibe, in my opinion, if we're dealing with like a Cupid arrow, right, with a heart on it, some sort of thing dealing with the Love trio or the Swamp of Love trio. But with that out of the way, as mentioned earlier in this episode, with this somewhat brand new structure of the seasons within Brawl Stars being shorter and Brawl Talks announcing more than one season of Brawl Passes in one Brawl Talk, what would make sense for another season? And again, we are just speculating, right? Well, there was another theme that was announced some time ago that was never really flushed out that much, that has quite a bit of legs to stand on here, and I'm talking about the Legends of Olympus. Many of you guys might remember, if you don't, we made a very deep speculation on this season here, even going so far that it might make sense that these hands down here could be sneak peeking a brand new brawler being added to the game in perfect Brawl Stars dev team fashion. When it comes to Easter eggs, they have a unknown set of hands here working on a statue. And when we're talking about Greek mythology, where these skins are taking place, Mount Olympus up in the sky, there are definite gods that fit the bill of these hands working on a sculpture. I forget the exact name. I think it might have been like Hephaestus or something, but that's besides the point. All I'm trying to say is this has some merit. There is potential here for a theme. These crazy skins fitting up here, actually getting a setting and a dedicated animation within this theme even. It makes a lot of sense. I think this does have a lot of potential. But on top of that, there is even more adding to this speculation of this being a potential update theme in the future. And that is, people ended up coming across an asset from the public fan kit that is really peculiar that might be associated with this Legends of Olympus theme. If you type in hammer here over on the Brawl Stars fan kit, we have this pin, an unaccounted for pin. In my opinion, this is giving me vibes of this Mount Olympus theme, right? We have a hammer that has lightning attached to it, and I think one of the most telltale symbols or most easily associated symbols when it comes to Mount Olympus is Thor and his hammer, the god of thunder. We've got a hammer here, we have lightning bolts coming off of it and someone wielding it. And not only that, we have a little symbol there at the bottom like a keychain. It's a lightning bolt, right? We have the Star Park logo there on top of it as well. It is a very interesting pin that hasn't been addressed, hasn't been released in the game yet. Obviously, if designed, has some sort of use case in the future here. So I think this is heavily associated with the Olympus theme, and if we already have assets pertaining to that theme unaddressed, I think it also could be giving us some interesting Easter eggs about a Olympus theme around the corner. Not only that, while at the same time, I've also been hearing a lot of people discussing that this very well could be that like free pin that we've been getting with Brawl Talks, with the link in the description. With most of these recent Brawl Talks, we've been getting a free pin that kind of goes along with the theme of the update, right? Here in the description of this most recent Brawl Talk that we had, free pin link. I doubt that it works right now. Let me see. I don't think I claimed it on my main account. Do you wish to claim your free reward now? Yeah, let's claim it. Oh, it still works. Look at that. So the pin is a pin very heavily associated with the cartoon theme that we have here. So a lot of people are speculating that this very well could be kind of like that pin as well. A free pin that is associated with a future update around the corner. We'll have to wait and see on that note. Either way, it is a very interesting Easter egg. But I think we've gone into quite enough here in this episode today and have enough to kind of rack our heads around. So potential update themes out there, maybe a Swamp of Love, maybe a Mount Olympus theme, or at least those are the highest potentials based on on what we have in game and different Easter eggs that the dev team have given us here recently. But I would love to hear what you guys are thinking, what we discussed here in this episode. This was a heavier Brawl news episode, but it's kind of what I want these news episodes to be here in the future. Brawl news, ones that address speculation, ones that try to predict future updates, so we're all kind of on the same page and caught in the loop for future content. But yeah, of course, if you guys enjoyed the episode, be sure to slap a like on it. I really appreciate that, and we'll be talking super soon. Adios and take care.